You may not realize it, but every minute of every day, you're enjoying your First Amendment freedoms. You can wear what you want, give out your opinion for free, even if it's unpopular. Listen to your playlist. You can put a sign out on your front lawn that says, "Vote for Bigfoot, someone you can believe in." Pray to the God of your choice, or don't. You have the right to hang with a posse that thinks like you do. Tell the government what you think about its policies. They're the freedoms that let you be you, and they're all brought to you by the First Amendment. Learn more at freedomforum.org.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to or during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, no matter by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real
Warning. This episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own two eyes. If you're going to get offended, please turn this podcast off now. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. Y'all stay tuned to the end of the show for some podcast announcements. But real quick, I want to say this. As y'all know, most of you know, we got justice for Mary Pouchot this week, okay? And I'll explain everything on next week's episode. And I'm going to try to have the family on so they can tell y'all, or at least one of them, so they can tell you thank you for the help and all. But very, very important, very, very dramatic how it ended. But Gerald Peanut Pouchot, Mary's husband, is gone to prison. And it's because of what y'all did, okay, after the call to action. Remember, they said this was a case that would never be solved unless you had a confession or a videotape. Well, guess what? That's not true. When we did the call to actions, lifers put out their voices. Y'all called in and said what you said. And guess what? There are so many great cops. And I got to meet one of them, the guy that headed up the investigation. And I'll talk about him more next week, but his name's Zach. And you know what? He wanted to do the right thing. He wasn't involved when that case happened, but he damn sure got involved. He and his guys got involved and they made it happen. Let's try to do the same thing for Kim Womack. Okay. So it's going to be the final episode on Kim Womack unless we have an update. I don't even know where to begin. All right. Y'all have seen the pictures. I put them up in the Real Life, Real Crime Community app. And yes, you have to sign up for the app. It's free to see that. It cuts out some of the riffraff, right? But I put it up there and the response has been overwhelming, like I knew it would be. It's one thing if I sit there and look at pictures and tell you about the different injuries that this Miss Kim had to her body. It's another thing if you see them yourself. Okay. And the response has been overwhelming. There's not one person that said they thought this was an accident. All right. Now, granted, I'm not a pathologist, right? I wasn't on Kim Womack's scene. I didn't get to work it. If I had, I'd like to think I'd have solved the fucker, right? But I wasn't. So yeah, I'm coming in afterwards. Yeah, I'm playing armchair quarterback. But I mean, the pictures don't lie, man. And the pictures just don't lie. So if you haven't seen them, go to the App Store, download the Real Life, Real Crime Community app for free, and then go in. You'll be able to punch the button to view the ones that I've released to the general public. And I do not do trauma porn, people. I did it because the family agreed you need to see the injuries. You need to see the injuries that she sustained to her body, all over her body. And they're trying to say she slipped in some chocolate syrup and did all that to herself. Didn't happen. All right. Now, it just didn't happen. Go look at them. If you haven't seen them already, if you want to get involved in this fight, for justice for Kim Womack. If you don't, I get it. Don't go look at them because it's tough. It's hard to see. I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody by telling the facts as they were presented to me. Okay. If the shade comes, well, guess what? It's yours to wear. Right. And that goes from everything from the phone calls that you heard on the previous episodes to whatever. And you heard, Catherine Womack, Kim's daughter, and her sister, Frida, being Kim's sister, Catherine's aunt, Frida, tell you what they were told and as the investigation unfolded and what have you, how it originally was listed as a homicide. The coroner said absolutely homicide. And then Catherine said she contacted, the assistant district attorney then, he's now the district attorney, Tony Clayton, and Tony Clayton told her that he said it was an accident and he told him to put it down as an accident. Whatever. I wasn't there privy to that phone call. I don't know. I'm going on what Catherine told me, but there is a letter written by the assistant coroner who states that he was in the room. The coroner who actually did, that worked the scene now is deceased, but she's got a letter written by the assistant coroner who said, yeah, I was there when they tried to force us to say it was an accident. Now, I don't know, people. And, but you know what? Everybody has to answer to somebody. All right. And then supposedly, well, I know not supposedly, I've seen the lawsuit in the papers. I mean, Catherine Womack had to file for Kim's file. Supposedly she was told she would never get it. And, supposedly she was told that her mama died due to the way that she lived her life and stuff like that. I don't know. I wasn't there for that part, but I'm telling you what she told me. Okay. But regardless of what has and hasn't happened, I mean, there's some of the just most horrible things like the bag into the hands. You can see them in the photographs I provide. That's great. But then they come back and say, can't use it because we didn't have nail clippers and one of the techs let us use her personal nail clippers. So the DNA samples are contaminated. Oh man, fuck, come on. The one expert, the detective said that she saw a foot on the edge of the bed. She was right. I said that there wasn't a foot on the edge of the bed. I went back and double checked and there was at one point a foot on the edge of the bed. Well, guess what? That wouldn't have necessarily ruined your whole crime scene. I mean, that's the people in there turning their body over, doing what they have to do to work the scene. That can be explained away. That doesn't mean that somebody's going to get found not guilty, right? It's a cluster of errors. And then her body was cremated just a few days after the autopsy accident. I mean, Catherine Womack, Miss Frida, and them are not mad at the pathologist about that or the coroner's office. But I mean, then they were told it was a homicide. It's just crazy. But here's at the end of the day, y'all, this is what it boils down to. Kim Womack was found dead, nude, laying on a crawl sideways on a back bed in a bedroom in her rented trailer in Gyro, Louisiana, and with the air conditioner on full blast. Not a room that she used, with the air conditioner on full blast. Go look at the photos. Make up your own mind. But here's the problem. In my mind, there's a killer out there. Okay? Somebody, it doesn't matter who messed up the investigation. Doesn't matter what was or wasn't done. It matters that there is a killer or killers walking around free. Kim Womack's cremated. She's dead. Somebody knows something. Now, this case has not got the attention. From the beginning, the first date, and I'm going to read you some articles here in a minute, but from the first date, there was never any news coverage. They never called it a homicide. Well, if I'm the sheriff of anywhere and there's a homicide, or even the coroner says it's a homicide till you can prove otherwise in my district, shit, I'm going to get on the news and say, hey, did anybody see anything? We're offering a reward, blah, blah, blah. It was never done. Why don't you want your constituents to know that there was a murder that took place, or there was a death that took place if you change your mind and you're working it and you need information? Kim Womack didn't do that shit to herself, y'all. Go look at the photos. My hope in doing the series, and it keeps going on and on, y'all, but my hope in doing this series is getting justice for Kim Womack, finding out what happened to her, and somebody having an answer for it. Okay? Doesn't matter who screwed up what, who's been fighting who over case files, blah, blah, blah. If all that was erased, if it was a brand new homicide, work it. Do the right thing. Work it. Okay? It's never too late. The statute of limitations on murder never goes away. All right? This is going to take public outcry, unfortunately, public coming forward and saying, hey, wait a minute. What about this homicide? What about Kimberly Womack's case? Why aren't you working it? Why haven't we heard anything about it? Sometimes it takes pressure, just like on Mary Pouchot's case. They never said it was a homicide. They never did a press release on it. And, then they said it was a homicide to the family and didn't do anything. Well, that was unfortunate. The one bad guy that didn't do anything or lied or whatever. But y'all lifers did such an outcry to the numbers and everything I gave you, they had to look at it. Everybody has to answer to somebody. Everybody, even your elected officials, they got to answer to somebody. And I'm not asking for a miracle. I'm asking that they go and work the damn case. Like the detective not knowing that they wanted another DNA sample from somebody else in the file. Just go do your job. Just go do the job. Go work it. And if it comes back that it's not a homicide, which, look at the pictures. If it comes back that it's not a homicide and it can be proven it's not a homicide, then you lay out the facts to the family and say, it's not a homicide and this is why. That shit ain't happening. If it's not going to happen, do the job, or let's get somebody in there that will do the job. Work Kimberly Womack's case. She was a human being. She was a mother, a sister, a daughter, a friend to people. She was a real human being, y'all. And I think that's what gets so fucked up in the true crime podcasts and stuff like that, is all you hear about is murder, 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 and you become somewhat desensitized to it. These are real people. These are real, living, breathing people that had their life taken from them. They deserve justice. Hey, y'all. I never really will understand a lady's fascination with shoes. I've got several pair, that I use for different things, but Cindy has ROTHYS flats and she loves them. Okay. And we got to try some out and these are the ones that she picked. And everywhere we go, we were in Vegas last week for Crime Con, the, people would stop and say, those are cute and where'd you get them from? People that we knew. And even one lady that I didn't know. But you know what? They're ROTHYS, and the ROTHYS are the perfect shoes for commuting and traveling, and everyone notices them. They're known for their point toe flats, but that's just the beginning. They have tons of iconic head-turning designs and bright but sophisticated colors. Plus, ROTHYS works great with every outfit. Cindy can wear them with yoga pants or dress them up for a night out on the town. They're insanely comfortable, almost like a slipper. And as soon as you take your first step, you think, that's more like it. And ROTHYS takes sustainability to the next level. All their products are knit with thread made from plastic water bottles. They're repurposed around 125 million bottles so far. Now, me personally, I have the ROTHYS tennis shoes. I've told you about them before. They're machine washable. I get my shoes dirty. It seems if there's a mud hole, I'm going to find it, right? But they're comfortable, and they wash right out and they look brand new. And the sustainability, you can't beat them. And check them out, y'all. So ROTHYS makes a whole lot. Women's shoes, men's shoes, etc. Check them out. Your new favorite shoes are waiting. Discover the versatile styles you can wear absolutely anywhere and get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/RLRC. That's ROTHYS.com/RLRC for $20 off your first order. You'll be glad you did, people. All right. So bear with me for a minute. I want to read you a couple stories and then I'll tell you what I think. Okay. So just bear with me. One is from the LouisianaVoice.com. It says 11 years of inactivity in Point Coupee murder case raises questions of DA's office diligence or cover-up participation. Again, y'all, this is from the Louisiana Voice. The date, February 19th, 2020. I'm just reading their article. It says, when Kimberly Gail Womack was found dead in the bedroom of her Gyro residence in Point Coupee Parish, her daughter, Catherine Simpson, assumed there would be a thorough investigation into her death. Womack had died little more than a month shy of her 49th birthday of blunt force trauma to the head by assault, according to the official death certificate. She suffered left-sided subdural hematoma, brain hemorrhaging generally associated with traumatic brain injury, because of a blow or blows to the head and multiple fractured ribs. Her death was assigned to the parish coroner, and Simpson had every reason to believe authorities would devote their energy to find her mother's killer. That was on August 1st, 2008. And more than 11 years later, no one has been charged with the killing, and authorities have attempted to deflect Simpson's inquiries into her mother's case, saying A, that she died from a fall, and B, her lifestyle was the primary contributing factor in her death. 18th Judicial District Attorney, Assistant District Attorney Tony Clayton, now y'all, he's the district attorney, has even implied to Simpson that she will never know the full story of Womack's death. Those words now seem prophetic, since after more than 11 years, the case appears no closer to resolution than ever. Kim Womack's lifestyle kept resonating with Simpson, who was aware of her mother was involved with the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's deputy. The only problem was, unbeknownst to Simpson, the deputy, West Baton Rouge Sheriff's deputy, was married. It's not known if Womack was aware of that inconvenient fact. When the deputy, whom Simpson said she had known all her life, was a no-show for her mother's funeral, I got suspicious, Simpson says. Clayton refused to provide the investigative report to Simpson. He told me he would let me see the information, but he could not let it get out because if the media got a hold of it, it could ruin the deputy's life, and he wasn't going to do that, Simpson said. She said She then went to the office of the deputy's wife and slapped my mom's picture down in front of his wife. I asked if she knew the woman in the picture. She said she told the woman that her mother was having an affair with her husband, and my mom has now turned up dead. Womack had accompanied the deputy to a training session, talking about Kim, y'all, to a training session in Lake Charles about 3 weeks before her death, Simpson said. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin-baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. She said the man's wife told her she would present her husband with what Simpson had given her and that the 2 women would talk the following day. I called her the next day and she wasn't ugly, but she said she couldn't talk anymore, Simpson said. The deputy went to Tony Clayton's office and threw a fit the next day, she said, and that was the last I ever heard of it, the investigation. Ty Cheney, chief investigator for the Point Coupee Parish Coroner's Office, did write a 2-paragraph letter dated January 28, 2020, that he attached to the 6-page autopsy report, in which he stipulated that this death was a result of a left side subdural hematoma from blunt force trauma to the head. This is still a pending homicide investigation with the Point Coupee Sheriff's Office. The autopsy report added that she suffered multiple bruises and abrasions on the upper and lower extremities, as well as the mid-frontal region of the face. The problem with any investigation at this point is that Womack's body was cremated by Raven Horse Funeral Home of Baton Rouge on August the 4th, 2008, just 3 days after her death. Louisiana Revised Statute 135719 says, if after the necessary investigation the coroner is satisfied that there are no suspicious circumstances surrounding the death, he shall issue a permit for cremation. An autopsy was completed, but the coroner's report made it plain that there were suspicious circumstances. By cremating the body, any evidence that might have been overlooked was gone forever. When prosecutors and law enforcement investigators are less diligent about solving crimes that are not sufficiently high profile, or because the victim's lack of name recognition, social status, or proper connections, or when prosecutors just go for the low-hanging fruit, then justice is not being served on an equal and impartial basis. Far from it. In fact, it smacks of either laziness or favoritism. Clayton, earlier this week, formally announced that his candidacy to succeed his boss, D.A. Ricky Ward, who is retiring. This story likely will invoke howls of political hatchet job in an election year that would have been an expected reaction for a political candidate under fire. The truth is, however, that I know little about Tony Clayton and have no axe to grind with him, nor do I know of any other potential candidate for the DA's post in the 3-parish 18th JDC. The only dog I have in this hunt is contempt for any public official who appears to be shirking his duty to the people he or she serves, or who is otherwise given less than his or her best. And after 11 years of inaction on the Kim Womack's case, it would appear that someone has gone to sleep on the job in the 18th JDC. The alternative would seem to be that someone is indeed being protected. Y'all, that was from the Louisiana Voice, and I want to read you one more, and then I'm going to shut this down and tell you why I'm doing this. This is from Bayou Justice, dated May 27th, 2020. Remember the other one was February, so this is a couple months later. Let's see if this is the one I want to read. Y'all, this is online. Go Google Kim Womack murder Point Coupee Parish. That's POINTECOUPE, if I'm not mistaken. Go Google it. All this pops up. I'm not making this shit up. All right, this is from Bayou Justice, May 27, 2020, by H.L. Aldridge. Says, when her landlord found Kimberly Gales Womack nude and lifeless body in the bedroom of her mobile home, sheriff's deputies told Catherine Simpson that her mother had slipped in a puddle of chocolate syrup and hit her head. Following her mother's cremation, investigators admitted to Catherine that someone murdered her mom. Born in Magnolia, Mississippi, September 6, 1959, and growing up in Kentwood, her father's hometown, Kim Womack likely never imagined being murdered in Point Coupee Parish before her 49th birthday. Kim's death certificate recorded her cause of death as blunt force trauma to the head by assault and a left-sided subdural hematoma, brain hemorrhage, induced by multiple blows to her skull. Dr. Alfredo Suarez performed the autopsy on the orders from the deputy coroner, Dr. Ty Cheney, accomplishing little more than confirming the coroner's initial observations. Dr. Harry Kellerman initially noted multiple fractured ribs and multiple bruises on her upper and lower extremities, as well as the mid-frontal region of the face, where dried blood had emanated from her oral cavity and both nostrils. Catherine Simpson recalled a trail of blood leading from her mother's kitchen into the bedroom where Kim Womack died. Days after her mom's memorial at Florida Boulevard's Baptist Church, the Point Capee Parish Sheriff's Office phoned Catherine, asking her to make the drive from her home in Baton Rouge to their office in New Roads. On the road, she felt optimistic, confident they had scheduled a conference to tell her who killed her mother. Instead, sheriff's investigators only told her who didn't do it. Even today, 12 years after the homicide, the sheriff's office insists that the man Kim Womack was dating, a married sheriff's deputy, did not kill her. When the deputy, whom Catherine says she had known all her life, dodged her mother's memorial, she grew suspicious. She asked 18th Judicial District Assistant District Attorney Tony Clayton to share the district attorney's insight on the case. He let me see the information, Catherine said, but I couldn't get a copy. He said if the contents of the file reached the media, it would ruin the deputy's life. He implied to Catherine that she will never know the full story of her mom's death. Almost immediately, Catherine said she went to the office of the deputy's wife. And same thing I told y'all yesterday, a few minutes about slapping the picture down. She comes back. Then, fuck it, I'll just read it. Catherine went to the office of the deputy's wife. I slapped my mom's picture down in front of her, and she said, and I asked if she knew the woman in the picture. Catherine said she told the deputy's wife that Kim Womack had an affair with her husband and that she had taken a road trip with the officer 3 weeks before she turned up dead. Catherine described in detail the sheriff deputy's training event in Lake Charles and explained how her mother had covertly accompanied him. The deputy's wife said she would confront her husband that night and call Catherine the next day. I couldn't wait for the call, Catherine said. I called her the next morning, but she just wished me luck and said she would not be talking to me again. Sometime later, an ornate lawn brick appeared on Catherine's mother's doorstep. The sheriff's office told Catherine they had found it there, engraved with her mother's name and the monograms DFB. That's Delta Foxtrot Bravo, y'all. Investigators said they could only guess what the initials represented. According to her death certificate, Dr. Kellerman pronounced Kim Womack dead at approximately 11:10 a.m. August 1st, 2008, in her rented mobile home at 5448 Lazar Jarrow Lane, following an injury sustained approximately July 31, 2008. Dr. Kellerman wrote that the sheriff's office had called him after neighbors reported that Kim Womack had not been seen for a day or so, and he described the crime scene this way. When I arrived, I went into the trailer with the sheriff's deputy. The trailer was in a state of disarray. A door from the bathroom going into the bedroom appeared to have been pulled from its hinges. A bedside table in the bedroom was on its side, partially blocking the entrance to the bedroom. I stepped over this to get into the bedroom. A totally nude female was lying crosswise across the bed. The descendant showed swelling around lids of her eyes and dry blood from the nose, and also what appeared to be multiple contusions of all extremities. I did not touch the body, but released to the sheriff's deputies, he wrote. We'll treat this as it appeared to be, a homicide, until proven otherwise. The sheriff's office contacted the state police crime lab to investigate this, he added. Big help in suspicious deaths. Dr. Kellerman signed the autopsy report on August the 3rd and the coroner's permission to cremate on August the 4th, and Raven Horse Funeral Home of Baton Rouge commissioned the Lafayette Crematory to incinerate the remains the following day. By signing the permission to cremate, Dr. Kellerman perhaps unknowingly violated Louisiana state law. Louisiana Revised Statute 1357-16 states, if the cremation of a body is requested, the funeral director shall immediately notify the coroner who has jurisdiction in the death. If after the necessary investigation, the coroner is satisfied that no suspicious circumstances surround death, he shall issue a permit for cremation. Y'all then has the Kim Womack's death certificate where it's listed as homicide in this article, but continue to read. If the investigation reveals suspicious circumstances or the reasonable probability of the commission of a crime, the coroner shall deny the permit. Clearly, suspicious circumstances are overtly apparent in Kim Womack's autopsy and coroner's reports. Consequently, incriminating the body, the crematorium destroyed any evidence and overlooked by examiners during the autopsy. Catherine Simpson has filed a lawsuit hoping to force the Point Capiz Sheriff's Office to release all records related to her mother's homicide. But I hold nothing against the coroner's office or any of the medical examiners, Catherine told me. I believe they did all they could. I just pray they didn't miss anything. All right, you know what, y'all, there's several articles like this, but I want to establish that the coroner said it's a homicide, okay? The investigators at some point said it was a homicide, even, regardless of the phone conversations or what went on between Catherine Womack and Tony Clayton, the then assistant district attorney, now the district attorney, and the fight for the case and all that, whatever. And if he told her that, hey, did you know a deputy's cell phone was found inside the crime scene? Well, it's not in the file. I don't know if that happened. I don't have any direct knowledge. I'm just repeating what was told to me. But again, here's the deal. The autopsy was done. We know that. The cause of death was established, the subdural hematoma to the back of the brain, but basically her brain exploded from the force of the blow. We know that. But she had broken ribs. She had all these injuries. Go look at it on Real Life, Real Crime community app. Download it for free and make your own judgment. But it doesn't matter. Okay. They screwed up the nails on the autopsy. I get that. I mean, but also, you know what? You really could run that DNA, even though it's contaminated by using that girl's personal fingernails, but just get her DNA and see if there's anybody else's DNA that's under Kim Womack's fingernails that doesn't belong, and then try to match it up. You could still work that. If you don't work it, a defense attorney is going to have a fucking field day one day saying, oh, well, you could have worked it. You knew it was contaminated by her DNA or maybe somebody else that she let use, but you could exclude those people. It's not done, And then Catherine, after all these years, bringing in the cold case squad to try and work the case, and they got a new sheriff in Point Capiz, and certainly the detective that she recorded on the phone wasn't the one who worked Kim's homicide. But you know what? They're working it now. But actually it doesn't seem like they're doing anything. Hey, y'all. I love the break-in protection that Simply Safe home security system gives me and my family, but it's not always the people on the outside that you have to worry about or that you need protection from. Meet Amy, a Simply Safe customer and a chronic sleepwalker who lives near a 4-lane highway. Y'all check this out. She said one night a few months ago, she sleptwalked out of her bedroom and then continued right out the front door. That is a dangerous situation, right? She could have been heading for a big accident. Luckily, as she walked out of her house, the Simply Safe entry sensor on her front door triggered the 95 decibel siren in the base station. That is loud enough, in fact, to wake her up before she wandered out in the street or got in some other kind of trouble. Seconds later, Amy got a call from the Simply Safe dispatch checking to make sure that everything was okay. Amy was still a little groggy, but she was just fine. Amy actually says that on that sleepy night, Simply Safe saved her life. Protecting people in ways they never could have imagined is just one of the reasons more than 4 million people use and love Simply Safe. Listen, I have Simply Safe in my home. I am not mechanically inclined. It took half an hour to set it up. Okay. Not only it's wireless. If you need customer support, they're awesome at that, but I didn't need it. But I did the doors and the windows and the cameras, even the camera in the living room. But more importantly for me, and y'all have heard me talk about this before, I did one over my gun safe. Okay. Anytime somebody goes to get my gun safe, I know about it immediately. trying to keep people safe, right? My kids come over, they have their friends over. I don't know if they want to go look at the guns or somebody's going to go try to steal some money from you or whatever, but that's another way that you can use it inside your home, minus all the different ways Simply Safe can protect you. It's easy to install and safe and secure and monitored. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/RLRC. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/RLRC. 20% off, y'all. simplysafe.com/RLRC. That's simplysafe.com/RLRC. It's too much. There's too many different ways to go. But you know what hasn't been done? I'll tell you the one thing that absolutely has not been done. This case has never been released to the media saying that there was a homicide of Kim Womack, or they're working a case of at least a suspicious death. But it's by the coroner, by the pathologist, they're saying it's homicide, right? So I'm going with that. It's never had the news coverage that it deserves. It's never been known, publicly wide known, other than these few articles that you can look up when you search the murder of Kim Womack. Why don't you put it on your crime list? Why don't you ask the media to run a story about it? So people who may have seen something and didn't realize they were seeing something, maybe they saw Kim Womack at somebody else's house shortly before. I don't know. Maybe she was beat to death somewhere else and stripped nude and put in a trailer. I don't know. I wasn't there. But somebody needs to try to find out. And you're never going to find out if you don't work the case. And yeah, this is not CSI. It's going to take real detectives, okay, but to work the case. And real detectives have to have real information. How do you get the information? You can't go back and look at the body. Not that really matter in this case anyway. How do you get the real information? You let the world know that this homicide or this suspicious death took place. And they don't know it. The only people to know it are the ones who read these articles, the ones that Catherine has talked to, and the listeners of Real Life, Real Crime. Okay? So, just like on Mary Pocho's case, I'm going to give you some phone numbers, okay? You do with them what you want to. Me personally, I want to know from everybody. I want everybody in the world, first of all, to know that there was a murder or that they're working a suspicious death there. And can you come forward and give me information? Now, listen, y'all, I'm telling you right now, if you're listening, and I'm sure the murderer is listening, I would be if I was he or she, then, but if you're a witness, and you know something, you message me, okay? You message me, and if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. I'll take it to the sheriff's office. I don't care. And a lot of times people will tell me stuff that they won't tell cops, and I get that. But if you're afraid, if you have knowledge of it and you're afraid, message me, okay? I won't burn you, but I'll give the information for it. And if you tell me that I can, I'll pass it on to the powers that be. All right. I'll be that go-between for you, but somebody knows something. And damn it, go look at those pictures. Kim Womack didn't do that shit to herself. Somebody did it to her. Okay. I'm not throwing shade on this West Baton Rouge sheriff's deputy that was not allegedly, that was having an affair with her according to. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. You know, everything that's been said, I don't know. I've never been witness to them having sex or an affair. I don't know. Okay. And I don't know this deputy, but the deal is, if you're afraid of something, if you have knowledge of it, please message me or call the cops. That's the most important thing. Call the Sheriff Thibodeaux, Point Capiz Sheriff's Office. I'm sure they want to solve the crime. I'm also sure that they get new crimes every day that they're working, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Make it known publicly. Make it known publicly. The news needs to get on this. People need to call, and the news channels, and I'm going to give you the phone numbers. Ask them and tell them they can look at the photographs and ask them, why has there never been a story about Kim Womack's murder? I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, I take that back. You have a hell of a lot, I'll tell you, I guarantee you this, you have a hell of a lot better chance of solving this case by putting it out there and having witnesses come forward to tell what they know. This has been a long time since Kim was murdered, okay? People have grown up. They have children of their own. People have died in their life, whatever. I mean, they may be willing to talk now and say what they weren't willing to say back then. But you know what? They may have said it back then. We don't know if they were ever talked to. Let's put Kim Womack's case out there, people. That's why I gave you the week to look at the pictures. That's why I'm doing this episode. Let's get it out there. And the only way we're going to get it out there is if y'all call and you let people know that you want to know that it's being worked. You want to know that it's being publicized. You want to know that Kim Womack is getting every chance of justice that she could possibly get. And the only way that's going to happen is if this story is told and people get pissed off and they demand justice for Kim Womack. And I hate that it has to come to that. I really do. I'm praying that Kim Womack's murder gets the coverage that it deserves. Okay. Maybe the sheriff does a press conference and says, hey, we had this cold case from way back when. All right. I don't know. All right. I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm sure they want to solve it. If it fell on his desk, he would solve it. Right. But the only way we can do that, y'all, I mean, they're busy. The detective not knowing about the DNA and stuff like that and him hauling around with Catherine on the phone. Hell, that guy's busy. He's got real, not that Kim's murder wasn't real, but he's got active live cases every single day that come across his desk that he's working. Him saying, that guy was suspicious to me from the beginning and I can go out and shake his tree. Well, let's do that. Let's let the sheriff know you heard that and let him go do that. Go talk to the people. All right. As far as this other law enforcement officers dating or whatever you call Kim Womack, if it comes out, fuck it. That's the truth. If it's the truth and it comes out, I mean, not making it up. I'm saying let the shit fall where it may. All right. Let's get justice for Kim Womack. People need to know the story, and the only way they're going to get it is if you cry out and tell them whatever it is that you want to tell them. But me personally, I want coverage of this case for Kim Womack. That is how these cases get solved. I was on the courthouse steps with the family and the detectives and all that, and Tony Clayton was there. Now, the guy I'm talking about that was the ADA in this story, he's now the DA, and he stood out on the steps talking about Mary Poche's case this week. And he said, this is how these cases get solved. Detectives work in these cases. This isn't CSI. Yeah, Tony, you're right. That's how they get solved. Why aren't you doing it on Kim Womack's case? It's your jurisdiction. You are the district attorney. I guarantee you what's going to happen though. I'm going to give you his number too. You're going to call and they can say, oh, we don't have a case file on it. There's no crime been reported to us. No comment. But it is what it is. Let's shine the spotlight, people. Now I'm going to give you some numbers. I get all fucking fired up, but I mean, I just don't understand why I just don't understand. And I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also not stupid. Okay. Either it's one or the other. Either it's just a really bad investigation. They got messed up like Mary Poche's and then whatever. I'm going to go into it next week. Or all the way to the other extreme is somebody is covering for somebody. And I don't believe that happens. I don't believe that any elected official is going to risk their career and their freedom to cover up a murder. I'll tell you that. Now, why they stonewall, why they not working it, I have no fucking idea. But I don't believe when the nut cutting time comes, if they're presenting, even if the killer or killers have something on this elected official, fuck that. I don't believe this elected official is, when nut cutting time comes, is going to go to prison trying to cover up somebody. I'm not that, but it happens. Maybe they got something really bad on them, right? I want to believe in the justice system, just like on Mary Poche's case. I want to believe that somebody that you contact is going to step up and take this on. All right. So first of all, let's talk about the news media. Y'all, the ABC affiliate in Baton Rouge, which covers Point Capee area and all the surrounding areas. The news station is WBRZ, and their phone number for the newsroom is 225-387-2222. That's the ABC affiliate. It's 225-387-2222. The CBS affiliate in Baton Rouge, WAFB, is 800-324-7875. That's 800-324-7875. That's the CBS affiliate in Baton Rouge. These are the newsrooms numbers, y'all. All right. The next one is WVLA. That's the NBC affiliate in Baton Rouge, or BR Proud. And the newsroom number is 225-768-9109. That's 225-768-9109. And last but not least is Fox Baton Rouge. Their news number is 225-769-0044. That's 225-769-0044. Okay. Y'all, the news loves to cover a murder story. None of these news channels have ever heard this. Don't you think they would be interested? These numbers will be posted in the show notes, so you don't have to go back and listen to it. All right, but now the other guy who I think would be number one and one to know that you want this case worked and solved is Sheriff Thibodeaux of the Point Capee Sheriff's Office. And here's his phone number. Area code 225-638-5400. That's 225-638-5400. That is the Point Capee Sheriff's Office, and his name is Sheriff Thibodeaux. All right, let him know that you let him know your thoughts on Kim Womack's case and find out what's being done about it. Always, the Louisiana State Police Investigation Division, their number is 800-434-8008. Repeating, 800-434-8008. That's Louisiana State Police Investigations. Now, y'all, I was assigned to the state police as a criminal investigator. That the local agency has to reach out for assistance, but who knows? If you want to use the number, use it. Then we have the Louisiana Attorney General's office. Okay. And their number is 225-326-6705. Repeating, 225-326-6705. Let them know. I mean, everybody has to answer to somebody. All right. Nobody's untouchable. And finally, the district attorney for the 18th Judicial, which Mary Poche's case was in West Baton Rouge. That Point Capee also makes that up where Kim Womack's case is. Tony Clayton's district attorney's office, 225-687-5210. That's 225-687-5210. Now, do with it what you will, people. We had the success in Mary Poche's. We've had the success in Courtney Coco's. We've gotten a million tips, it seems, in Miss Barbara Blunt's case, which was still actively working. Y'all can always please send in. I got a tip in today. But listen, Kim Womack deserves this. It's not about throwing shade. I don't care what, let's say that I'm an independent and I didn't have a dog in the fight and I just wanted justice for Kim Womack, which I do. I don't care about what was done or what wasn't done in the past. Okay? Although it's important, but I don't care about that. I'm not throwing shade. All I want you to do is pick up this fucking case file and work it like it's fresh. Work it like it was your mama. Work it like it was your grandmother. Work it like it was your sister. Work the case. And if you can't solve it, then so be it. But work the case. Let the people know that it's been worked. Again, the numbers will be posted in the show notes. We've done it before. I think we can do it again. And we just need to shine the light on Kim Womack, who was a real living, breathing human being. And you go look at those photos and you tell me that she slipped and hit her head and died from that. And I'll be a monkey's fucking uncle. I'm going to conclude this series and hopefully we'll get the proper attention for Kimberly Womack's investigation and something will be done. And that's all we can hope for, people. That's it. That's the best in the world that we can hope for. And we've had some success. Boom, Jim. We've had some success in the past. I'm praying that we can have success again, but we won't have it if you don't take action. All right. I'm concluding the series. Hashtag justice for Kim Womack. All right. All you lifers, I love you. Thank you and appreciate you. Okay. Patron members and convicts. I could not do these shows in these cases without your support. I appreciate your subscriptions. I'm going to be doing an extra story this month, like I did last month. And, you have some extra stuff put up, on your pages and all that. And of course you have all the old cop stories, probably 13 or 14 of them that are locked up that the general public's never heard. So, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I got to give you your shout outs and your props. All right. If you can't be a patron member or you don't want to or convict, and hey, I get it. And I appreciate you anyway. I love my fans. They are the best in the world. I say it time and time again. I appreciate you so much. I put you up against anybody. Now listen, if you would, please, if you haven't, I know it takes some time, y'all, but I didn't know this all these years, but reviews and subscribing, like wherever you listen to me now, say Apple Podcasts, you go up and you type in Real Life, Real Crime, and it brings up Real Life, Real Crime. You can hit the subscribe button, and it's free. All it does is next time I drop an episode, whether it's in the middle of the night, whenever it is, you'll get a notification that the new episode is out. That, and there's a spot on there when you see reviews. If you would please leave me a review. Reason why. And I'm asking the same thing for Scorched Justice, my new podcast. The reason why in Apple's algorithms, when it helps other people find the show. And that's it. And I've got thousands of reviews and I love it. And if you've already left me a review, I appreciate it. But Real Life, Real Crime and Scorched Justice, very, very important. It's very, very important in the podcast world that the reviews, and you hit the like button or subscribe button, whatever. I don't know all the technical shit, but I know enough. We just got back from the NAB conference, the National Association of Broadcasters, and Cindy went to a class, and that's one of the big things that they were talking about is reviews and subscribing. So evidently I've been missing out on that all these years, other than just asking y'all to do it sometimes. But if you would do that, I'd appreciate it for Real Life, Real Crime and my new podcast, Scorched Justice, which is a big hit. And thank y'all for that. And I appreciate it. But if you get a chance, leave it a review. And CrimeCon, it was great seeing everybody. CrimeCon, loved it. That was after the NAB conference that we went to in Vegas. The CrimeCon started the day after that, so we were there for that. Got to meet a lot of you lifers. It was awesome time. Represented on Podcast Row, Cloud 10 Media, love you. iHeartRadio, love you. The fans, lifers, love you. I mean, we had them from all over the United States, y'all. It was such a treat. From Alabama to Washington State to everything in between, Michigan, you name it. I got to meet lifers there. So thank y'all. It was great meeting you, and I love you very much. And I'm sure I'm supposed to say some other stuff like Instagram at Real Life, Real Crime. I post different stuff on there every day. Or now at Scorched Justice. Follow me, or at Overton Woody. The Real Life, Real Crime community app. Go download it for free. It's got everything Real Life, Real Crime in there, plus 1,000 times more. And the Facebook censorship, trying to get away from it. You have the app. We just, 2 days ago, they just did a recent update on the app. They're constantly fixing things and bugs and stuff as it rolls along, but I'm on there every day, first thing. So, but anyway, I'm not going to take any more of your time. LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, my jam people, be a hero, give the gift of life or sight or whatever. Okay. They're a nonprofit, and there are people waiting that are dying, literally waiting on these organ transplants, and LOPA makes it happen. Okay. And if you're a lifer from Honduras and you want to be an organ donor, you don't have to be from Louisiana. You go to lopa.org, fill out the little thing. It takes 2 minutes, and you will be a organ donor, and you can have the chance of saving someone's life. All right. It's very slim, y'all. I mean, I don't even know what the percentage is that it gets done, but I've seen it. I've seen it in real time. I've seen it happen. I know they're saving lives. And so be a hero. Go to lopa.org, sign up to be an organ donor. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. Until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?